All right, first thing you're going to want to do for the front is remove the actual glove box door. To do so, you basically got to remove these 4 screws here, and then the screws that you see across the top, anything that's there, because you physically want to take off this whole box. It needs to come out. And then after you take off the box, you'll probably want to pull off these little nubs, so that way the back of it can fit in a little more, or you can leave them there. You see how the spacing is, because all the cars are a little different. Physically, the inboard side is actually a little bit taller than this, so it's not symmetrical, it's not straight across, so this side is actually taller than this side. But you're going to need to pull this this box, the glove box, all the way out, this little liner, because the door is got 2 little hinges that go through there, and then you're going to have to take them out. So you're going to want to pull this all the way out and do that. Just remove the 4 screws you see there for the actual door, and then there's a couple screws right here that you see, and this will help you take this box out. Then once you got the box all the way out, take your door off and then put it back in. Then after that, you're going to want to install these 2 brackets here. You can just reuse one of the screws that are given, and you're going to want to angle these, adjust the angles on these to hold the table how you like it. This is extra for me because I have a TV. That's my TV setup. So just take and put these in there and do it. I've had mine in for about a year with just these 2 brackets, and I drive around with the big sake bottles on it for rollers and stuff like that. So it's pretty stable. It's almost a 2 foot by 2 foot board for the table, so it's pretty big. But then that's what you got to do, is install those 2 brackets and set it up like that. Then after that, you're going to want to take the table and then slide it on in there. Okay. And then once the table is set up in there, you can use these brackets to make it adjust on how you want it to sit, so you can get it to be level there. So you can bend these brackets on the bottom up and downwards. Then I'm gonna give you a screw and a washer. Make sure you use the washer, and that's what you'll be able just to secure this with. As you can see, I don't have the island in here. I'm trying a different setup here. The island you'll just install yourself if you wanted to secure it. I actually drove around with the island not glued down, and it didn't pop up, it didn't fall out. It's in there pretty snug. But for shipping purposes, so this can sit flat, I'm going to ship it with the island out. And here's the island. The side with the seam where the chrome meets, that's the rear. So you literally just take this, pop it in there, and she'll sit in there. Like I said, it didn't pop out. If you want it to make sure it doesn't pop out for any reason, just take some real thin 3M double-sided tape on the bottom there, or on the inner ring, or just put a piece of hot glue or a dab of super glue and put it in there, and then sit it down, and she'll stay. But that's it. That's basically the table's installed. Like I say, if you want to make some adjustments to the angle of it, this one on mine is done pretty well. You just gotta bend these. Say, just put in the screw in the washer and make sure the washer is in there, because otherwise the screw will poke through. And then the final thing I'm going to have is this one block of wood, and what I do is I just stick this block of wood in there in the back like that, and then that will keep this from angling. That will keep this from angling up like this. So with that block installed and these 2 brackets, like I said, I've driven around with large sake bottles for roller shots, and I've never had an issue. But that's basically the table we'll install with this version. Like I said, the island, you can leave it out like that. You know, obviously if there's something in it, it's not going to pop out. You'll have to hit a really big bump for it to pop out. But just for shipping purposes, I don't want to do that, because as you can see, it sticks out a little bit on the bottom there. Those two little nubs can come off, and you can insert an LED right there. So then this will light up, which is what I'm going to do on mine. At night, when you drive, your glove box will light up with that light right there, because this switch right here will no longer be depressed. So when your lights are on, this will actually light up automatically with just that light right there. So that's a pretty cool setup. If you didn't want the light to come on, you just have to get something to press that switch down there. So that's basically the table setup. Take you about 5 minutes to do. Pull the door off, pull the housing out, get the door out of it, put the brackets on, put your table in, see if the angles are good, rebend your brackets if you like, and then throw the island in, and she's in there. I've had people sit in the front. You can see there's actually pretty good room. Tried to build it with a person in mind there, where the seat and the legs all end, and it goes and it curves out a little bit so the driver can actually get it. So that's the install on that.